And welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely break. Hope you're able to regather yourselves, recalibrate as we have our second series of the night. We're done with the Zergs. We are now going to be featuring the Protoss and the Terran.
Yeah, here we go. This is a matchup I'm very excited to see here on this new patch TVP. We're going to be starting things out on Babylon.
Yeah, let's go, Babia. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have the Korean Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is Zoun.
And spawning in the upper left-hand corner of the map, it is our Chinese Terran in the blue. This is Coffee.
Oh boy, and I'm pretty excited, to be honest, because Coffee, he's a bit of an underrated player. I feel like he's a bit of a trendsetter in a way. You know, he has a very unique outlook on the game, and more often than not, sometimes he comes out with some weird builds and some weird play styles that other people look to.
Yeah, I mean, Coffee, especially in this matchup, can have some very aggressive, slightly cheesy builds here, and I'm very excited to see what he has prepared for this map in particular. Already we're seeing something a little bit unusual. He's gone for a gas first, so this will afford him a much faster factory, but still a decent expand time. Usually this is going to lead to us seeing either some very fast Hellions or possibly a fast Cyclone.
Yeah, and aggression is kind of what we expect to be seeing here from Coffee, especially because similarly to the last series that we had, Zoun is a much higher rated player. There's a lot of hype and a lot of anticipation surrounding him. He's one of the better Protoss players out there in Korea. I feel like this year he was kind of overshadowed a little bit by your creators, by your heroes, but he's still amazing at what he does, and he was really able to show that and prove that in World Team League.
Yeah, absolutely. He had some very good games, and it feels like Zoun did have a little bit of a slump last year, but towards the end of the year, he really came back into himself, and I feel like he is on the up, and that is pretty well timed when it comes to Katowice being so close. And I'm excited to see him, excited to see what he has in store, what he's been working on, and see a new level out of him, because he is one of these new prospects to reach that really high level of Protoss.
He really is. All eyes are on him. I could be mistaken, but this may even be one of the first IEMs that he has been a part of. I believe he was a part of IEM in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. I'm speaking mainly about a live event edition of IEM specifically. So yeah, exciting times for a lot of these players traveling abroad to this kind of momentous event and momentous occasion. We'll see what they got.
Absolutely. As we see the scout going to be coming out from Coffee, so he does get eyes on that Twilight Council here. He will know roughly what he's up against. This is most likely going to be a Blink build coming out from Zoun, and there we go. We do see that Blink being started up. So very standard things coming out here. Behind this, we are going to be having Coffee go for a mine drop. The mine has been scouted here as well.
Oh yeah, the first mine has him started. Meanwhile, the Reaper does Reaper grenade himself over that wall, does get into the main base, doesn't get too much damage though. It gets taken out, does at least confirm no hidden tech or anything crazy like that, no hidden dark shrine from that Twilight Council, and he's going to be following up with a bit of a drop, but not the most usual drop. We have a lot of Marines mixed into this as well.
Yeah, so there we go. We are going to be seeing that medevac coming out. We do have that CC finally getting landed there. So yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to see what he's got here. Zoun did go for a reasonably fast blink, and that was scattered by Coffee as well. So Zoun definitely playing things on the safer side. And yeah, interesting. We're going to be seeing it's 6 Marine and 1 mine drop coming out from Coffee. This is something that's been a little bit more popular as of late. There's a little bit more potential for damage as well, so should be looking to see him dive on some probes, but no, Zoun is in position right now.
Yeah, exactly. His Stalkers do respond in time. We do see the Widowmines are going to slowly leapfrog forward and push us away. At the same time, we do have one Widowmine scuttling towards the natural base, but Zoun is quick to respond.
Wow, fantastic reaction coming out from Zoun. Even saw him splitting off a probe into this main to try to take out the mine shot. Was unsuccessful doing that, but the Stalker Micro has been good. This is a big D power though, and the mine catches one of the Stalkers. This is great damage for Coffee.
Oh, exactly. Stalker goes down. Blink is so delayed as well. So if Zoun wanted to hit a bit of a timing, it's going to be that much later. We just see him throwing down a third base, and Coffee's aggression has subsided for now, but he was able to find some damage.
Yeah, that is very nice damage for this opening drop. You're not really expecting to get a huge amount of damage with that most of the time, so I think Coffee's going to be very happy with what he's done so far. And behind this, continuing to make tanks, so we do have the potential here for quite a dedicated tank push.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see kind of what tank count he moves up to. He also knows that he doesn't necessarily have to prepare for any kind of major counterattack anytime soon. He does scout and he does confirm the third base on the way, so he knows that there isn't kind of a massive gateway explosion behind this, and he's going to be moving out. Meanwhile, Zoun is already working towards his robotics bay, but he doesn't have a lot of gateways at the moment, so he's going to be a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, and Coffee looking to abuse that with this early move out. Good amount of damage going down on the medevacs here, so Coffee going to be seeing what he can get done. Zoun's micro very good with these Stalkers, but they are quite damaged. If these tanks can get a good siege position towards the third, that could be a lot of potential for damage. The Liberator denying some mining, getting 3 of these probes.
Yeah, 3 probes go down. It's kind of diverting the attention of Zoun away in towards the main base. Liberator does finally go down, but the tanks are sieged, and Zoun is completely cut off from his third base. He does have his Immortal, though.
Yeah, wow, great position here. A lot of these Stalkers were damaged, and a lot of them going to be going down, but we do have the tanks being cleaned up. The Immortal is not going to be going down, and I think Zoun has managed to hold, despite it being at quite a cost.
Yeah, that was so close. Zoun was able to catch one of those tanks unsieged. The DPS wasn't there. He barely focuses all of them down. The Immortal survives, and with the tank count reset, Coffee has to turn around and go back home. Oof.
Oh, the tank count has been reset. These Marines here without stim, they're not going to be able to get out of there. The medevac was taken out as well as the Stalkers. So what is here to defend this counterattack? There is the potential for a lot of damage. I think some SCVs might be needed to be pulled, and here we go.
Yeah, there's just not a lot here to defend. We have a couple of Marauders, and they are helping. Boys are being pulled, but there's a lot of lost mine time. At the same time, we do have the Raven counterattacking across the map, but the auto turret goes down, and oh, if Coffee's not careful, maybe even the Raven as well.
Yeah, Zoun has been extremely sharp with the defense here. We don't see that Immortal going down either. It's quite battered and bruised, but that does mean there's going to be a lot more potential for damage, especially against these buildings here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Both Widow Mines got taken out as well, so the factory units once again reset. Once again, the boys are being pulled. Coffee's up against the wall behind this. He's doubled down and thrown down more production, by the way. He doesn't have a third CC behind this, and Zoun is getting fully saturated.
Yeah, Coffee, he is completely all in behind this, going for this 5 racks all in. It does feel like it's been quite delayed by his opening build order, though. It's a bit difficult to make this one flow together this way. And yeah, his supply definitely quite hurt here. I think Zoun's going to be able to get that charge on the way before this hits.
Oh, that's an unfortunate
scene. Oh, that feels bad.
Feels bad, man. One Stalker goes down for his troubles, but the Observer survives and spots the move out. Zoun could even dip in a little bit and confirm the third CC behind this. Coffee is going to attempt to transition out of this if the attack does fail, but he just doesn't have a lot to work with anymore. He's just bled out so many units over the course of this game already.
Man, Zoun is looking so sharp right now. I'm very excited for him in the rest of this tournament if he can keep up this level of play, because his defense has been immaculate so far, especially having those units in the main to help deal with those Ravens. A very quick pull here on the mine drop.
Oh yeah, what are my chances going to go off? Only 2 probes go down, and the medevac gets sniped as well. Wow. Oh my god.
This has been a very, very clean game coming out from Zoun here. Yeah, very interesting with that Raven harass that we saw earlier as well with the turrets. There has been a change to those turrets. They have lower health, lower armor as well. So if you do have units in position to try to take those out, that can be an effective way to deal with them.
Definitely. I was honestly a little bit shocked. I haven't seen too much of it myself because we haven't seen too many TVPs in these ESL Open Cups, but I was shocked at how quickly that auto turret died. It was like, oh my god, it was only 2 or 3 Stalkers in position as well, so for it to be shut down in that manner, it's definitely something that Terrans have to be aware of and have to be adapting to, because the punish is real if Stalkers are in position.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, likewise for these Protoss players, it's going to be important to have those units in position. There's still the same potential for damage, but it can be cleaned up very effectively. And here we go. Zoun going to be moving out here with a 2 Colossus timing. Considering all the damage he was able to divert from the early game and just how effective he was throughout, there's a lot of potential on this attack.
Oh, there really is, and both armies miss each other. Coffee was in the middle of moving out, and now his third base is completely left alone. We do see Zoun doesn't even want the third. He's going straight for the natural.
Yeah, Coffee is caught badly out of position. It's going to be very hard to go up the ramp into these Colossus here. Zoun needs to maybe move those Archons to the front to be able to block out, but no, fantastic force field. GG is called, and Zoun takes game 1 convincingly.
Oh my god, GG. Those force fields were brutal, and we saw that things weren't looking too bad for Coffee. I thought he was going to be able to do a little bit more when he moved out with his 3 tank push, if you recall, but god, like, that was such a tight defense from Zoun. As soon as that Immortal came out, he dove on top of those tanks, and as soon as that push was kind of shut down, it felt like Coffee was kind of on the back foot.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very impressed with Zoun this game. He looked so sharp because Coffee had a good game plan coming into this one. I mean, that Marine mine drop got some good damage, delayed that blink as well, and he seemed well set up for his attack, but yeah, Zoun just a little bit too sharp in every regard, honestly.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit too sharp there for Coffee, at least in game number 1, but we'll see what he has, or what he can bring to the table here in game number 2. Again, I was still pretty impressed overall with how Coffee's early game went for him. It's just it's just such a shame that Zoun's defense was as solid as it was.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, tank timings like this, that is what I was expecting out of Zoun, but this is a build, this Liberator build with the Stimulus Marine tank push. It's a build that's gone out of fashion a little bit, and I think the reason for that is it can be a little bit difficult for that to work out exactly if you have a player that's very good at kiting you across the map with Stalkers.
Definitely, and it's not like those kiting Stalkers dealt too much damage, but they were able to just, again, give him a little bit of notice ahead of time to be able to get that Immortal out when he did. It was also really impressive of him to already have Stalkers in position, or Stalkers kind of split off to deal with that Liberator as well. Like, Zoun was able to be everywhere when he needed to. Yeah, it was it was crazy.
Yeah, very impressive game, and I do. Ooh, sorry, I've just joined the wrong lobby there.
It's all good. But yeah, from here we're gonna be getting into our second game. At the moment, we're not fully aware of what the what the map is going to be. That'll be revealed shortly. But yeah, do you have any strong thoughts about the maps here for TVP? Do you expect to see a certain map?
Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what we're going to be seeing here. I know that if I was a Terran picking one of these maps, I'd definitely be looking for a map that's a little bit shorter, possibly a map without a natural ramp.
Yeah, we have seen that there are some maps definitely without that ramp that, you know, you can take advantage of if they weren't vetoed, of course. Oh god. So yeah, I'm curious as to what the vetoes were, and then what gets chosen in the end as well. Because it's a best of 3, of course, both players had plenty of vetoes available to them to get rid of any maps that they're not too fond of. And I guess the other thing to bear in mind as well, we didn't really get to talk about it in the first series, but these players have been fully aware of their matchups for a couple of weeks now. Like, these brackets have been revealed to the public for quite some time, so I'm sure they have to have been going over this series time and time again, especially some of the underdogs in these series, to prepare and get ready.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot of time to think through these ones, especially knowing ahead of time what it is that they're going to be going up against. So especially a player like Coffee, and especially in this matchup, TVP, I think that there's a lot of room for creativity, and he is a player that's shown that time and time again. I do worry a little bit for him, though. We haven't seen as many short maps in this pool. And it is the short maps that tend to lend themselves to these early attacks a bit more. So I think if we do see him land on a bit of a larger map, we're going to have to see what he's got in store when it comes to the more drawn out macro game.
Yeah, I'm not convinced we're going to get that. When I think of Coffee, I don't really think of long drawn-out games, except for maybe TvT. I think we have seen plenty of that in that matchup. So, yeah, but I'm ready to be pleasantly surprised. You know, if Coffee's going to come out here and look for a bit of a longer game on one of these larger maps, like, I am more than willing to be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go. We do finally have this map ready to go. It's going to be Grassfan. So this is quite interesting to me. I'm guessing... Okay, so for a best of three, just kind of spitballing here, trying to think about these maps. As the Terran vs Protoss, I'm probably looking to veto Altitude and Ancient Cistern, so I guess this is the one that kind of slips through. That's probably not your favorite map to play here. It's going to be interesting to see what his approach is, because it is a bit of a larger map.
Oh yeah, it is a bit of a larger map, and I mean, you know, ask and you shall receive. You were asking earlier as well about a map without a ramp, and that's exactly what we're getting here. You know, that's this just a massive hole in the wall, actually, instead.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to have seen something like a bit of a tank push on a map like this. I do think that could be a little bit more effective, but I don't really want to see that 2 games in a row.
Yeah, it is an interesting one. I mean, if you have a strategy where you're maybe picking up that tank in a medevac, ferrying it across the map with that boost as fast as you can, I could see some potential, but I'm not really sure where you put that tank. Either way, our eyes are on this player in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. He is the Chinese Terran in the blue, looking to come back into this series. This is Coffee.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Grassfan, we have his opponent, the South Korean Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is Zoun.
Yeah, here we go. We do have Coffee, of course, representing IG, and we did see him quite a lot in the World Team League recently. IG, not one of the favorites in that league, but they did do quite well, pulled out a win here and there, and were able to really show us some quality games. So always exciting to see some of these teams participating in that World Team League, of course.
Definitely. Like, it's great to see Coffee's made it here as well. We didn't really get to talk too much about it, but Time has been kind of, well, Oliveira, I should say, has been kind of the representative of the region for a long time. But it's great to see, you know, multiple players from China here in Katowice doing what they can to kind of represent their region.
Yeah, I know it can be quite... Ooh, the SCV goes down. It can be quite difficult for the Chinese players to travel at the moment, especially with recent COVID restrictions, but good to see that they've been able to get here. It would have been, yeah, very disappointing not to see players like Oliveira, so I'm glad he's here. And already we have a bit of action coming out in this game. Going to be an eBay block coming out from Coffee, and at the same time he was being harassed by a very, very early probe, so having to micro the builders on both sides of the map, definitely a difficult task here.
Oh, he wants the SCV, but he doesn't get it. 2 SCVs very low here from Coffee, but he keeps them alive. Meanwhile, across the map, he was able to cancel his NG Bay in time, and Zoun finally is going to be able to work on his expansion, but far later than he would have liked.
Yeah, feisty SCV turns around, slaps him with the drill, takes him out. We'll just ignore that the Marine did the most of the work. That's his kill there.
Yeah, it's his, Bobby. It's his. So very nice control there in the end from Coffee. He only lost 1 SCV in total, and that was the SCV that was across the map, if you recall, building that NG Bay, and now he can get into his opener. This was, of course, scouted. I believe the factory was seen as well from Zoun. He didn't quite see the factory, but he did see the gas.
Yeah, this time we're seeing the factory go down before the CC. Looks like it was indeed, again, a little bit of a earlier factory than we're used to seeing in this matchup. And here we go, we can see why. It's going to be to get that on the reactor very quickly. And we're going to be seeing, looks like a little bit of a Hellion opening. No starport yet though, so it's not going to be a drop. Maybe he's looking to fake out Zoun with this.
Yeah, I'm a little bit perplexed, not gonna lie, because we don't have that medevac for a Hellion drop. We don't have any Reapers either to commit to any kind of major Hellion aggression to bust on in. I guess because the wall is so large, maybe a Reaper isn't necessary, but for the time being, the Hellions are staying here at home. They did reveal themselves to that Adept.
This is a very cool opening. I think he is trying to fake out that he's going for a proxy starport Hellion drop. One issue that we do have here is that eBay SEV died. I think that actually makes this quite a bit harder to sell because you don't have an SEV definitely out on the map. Also that probe getting in earlier. Once again, yeah, makes this a little bit of a hard story to sell, but it looks like Coffee just going to be sending these straight across the map, and we don't have a wall yet. So as you were saying, this wide open natural is going to play a part.
Yeah, it really is. He just runs past the Adepts. One of these Hellions is going to be going down though, and now they're going to be able to have free reign here of the natural mineral, of the mineral line.
Yeah, and there's no battery here, so even if one of these Hellions get taken out, there is still more potential for damage. We are seeing the probes line up a little bit here. Oh, are we going to get that last shot?
Oh my God.
We do get denied that last shot, but 8 probes going down. Very nice damage for Coffee.
Yeah, exactly. There was no investment into a drop. There was no investment into much of anything. Only 4 Hellions to get 8 probes. That is insanely valuable. And meanwhile, back at home, Coffee, he's just transitioning. He's working towards his 3 racks follow-up. He's got Marines on the way, Cyclones as well. Interestingly, Zoun did actually divert his tech, and he's investing into Phoenixes.
Yeah, these Phoenixes are going to be so key for him because they're going to get the scout here. Coffee going for a rather aggressive build, skipping out on his starport so that he has an earlier push, and I think Zoun's going to be able to piece this together.
Oh yeah, he should be able to, but we had a bit of a commitment to the shade. One of these Adepts is going to be going down. So far, the Cyclone has done a great job at zoning away these Phoenixes for the time being. Of course, once Phoenix count gets a little bit higher, the Cyclone is going to need a little bit more support. So far, the production is being hidden, but the amount of Marines being revealed, I mean, that's a bit of a tell.
Yeah, and there we go. These Phoenix are going to be dipping in, taking out some of these gas workers. They still only see one of those Raxes, so we don't have the full picture here yet as Zoun. And I actually think this opening is going extremely well for Coffee. I'm quite excited for this one, and I'm just really impressed that he managed to find an opening specifically for this map as well. This is something that I'm definitely hoping to see more of.
Definitely. I do think that moving forward from here, Protoss players, maybe they're going to have to prioritize walling here at the natural, even if it is going to be a little bit inefficient, or it's going to slow down their builds, or maybe just have a little bit of a different answer to something like this. So do have a bit of a scan ahead of time. The Robotics Bay has been confirmed by Coffee, and his army is moving out before we have any kind of Colossi.
Yeah, we have that scan going down, and Coffee immediately pulling those SEVs. His blood has to be pumping right now. That scan revealed very few units. I think this has a lot of potential here.
Yeah, it really does. The Phoenixes have turned around, and they will be able to CC those tanks, so they are available here. The Marines have to do the best they can to protect these tanks and zone away those Phoenixes. They are going to be sieging up. The boys are here.
There we go. The battery goes down. The Phoenix are going to be dipping in. They decide not to go for the attack. And we do have a big depower coming out. Zoun just needs to buy himself enough time for this Colossus to come out. But no, it's going to go down. Coffee takes game 2.
Wow. GG gets called. The Robo goes down. And Zoun taps out Coffee with a very crisp timing. After a very cheeky opener with those Hellions. Like, wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I am so thrilled about that game because we were talking about it before. Coffee's a player who likes to come up with his own strategies, likes to kind of formulate his own way of playing the game, and that's something that can be very effective in TVP. And I can honestly say this is not something I've seen before. Very tricky opening. You're not expecting such an all-in attack to come off a 4 Hellion opener like that, and he kept it hidden so well with his unit positioning.
He really did. Like, by the time that Zoun got a whiff of what was going on, by the time he actually saw the starport timing with his Phoenixes, it was too late. The army was already more than halfway across the map, and we saw that he was trying to react as quickly as possible. He had shield batteries on the way, he had immortals on the way, he was rushing everything back home, but at that point it was too late, and it was also a bit of a shame that that Robo was as exposed as it was.
Yeah, absolutely. But brilliant plan for the map and a brilliant plan in terms of the build. I think as well, Zoun going for Phoenix there was probably expecting this to be a proxied Hellion drop rather than just charging straight on through the middle there. But yeah, this is just a fantastic plan from start to finish by Coffee, and yeah, I think I might have to unveto Grassman and give that a go.
Oh my god. Is it going to be worth it? Is it going to be worth abusing the Protoss if you are going to be suffering from the Zerg? I don't know. Oh my god. But yeah, I really did love what Kofi did there. Clearly, as you were saying, very attuned to that map specifically, just because of how wide open the natural is. The likelihood of getting into a Hellion run by like that and it actually dealing damage is much higher on this map specifically. And now I have to wonder, because again, Coffee, he's the man with the plan. He's the player that has come prepared with very special builds. What does he have in store for us in game number 3?
Yeah, what does he have ready to go here? We are going to have a little bit of a different map, and the thing about this as well is, as Zoun, the pressure is on now. You've got to be feeling a little bit nervous, because I'm sure he came into this one not expecting an easy game, but probably hoping for the 2-0. And Coffee has made it clear it is not going to be that simple.
Yeah, again, like, Coffee, he's the dark horse, you know? Like, not a lot of players are too familiar with him or expect to go down to him. I wouldn't say he's as crazy as Haas. No one's as crazy as Haas. But, you know, he's kind of cut from the same cloth in a bit of a way. He can be very creative, and if Zoun goes down in the first round of 36, like that'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would be a huge upset and something very exciting to see as well. I mean, I'm kind of pumped to keep an eye on Coffee and see what he's got for the rest of this best of 36. I think maybe this is a dark horse that we should be keeping an eye on.
Oh, yo, Coffee, IEM champion?
True.
Oh my god, or maybe not as much, but if he has a good run, he can definitely ruin someone's day. Oh my god, so that's what we have to keep our eye on here as we're getting ready for game number 3. It looks like the map is going to be Ancient Cistern.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to have Ancient Cistern, and this is one that I have to say I'm a little bit perplexed that it's gotten through the vetoes. This, at least to me, has felt like the most difficult map in the pool for TVP. But Coffee has shown that he's not letting these maps through for no reason. He has strategies prepared for them.
Oh yeah, he does have them ready. Meanwhile, I don't know if you noticed, but actually you were made the lobby host. So you gotta take it away, Papi, take it away. All good. But yeah, I agree. Like, I wasn't really expecting this map to make it through either. This is quite a large map. There's a lot of open areas and open spaces for engagements. Definitely, it feels like almost opposite to what Coffee is used to. So I'm excited. Are we gonna see a longer game, a macro game?
Or we're going to be seeing all the buildings across the map.
Yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, we are about to find out, because here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. He is the Chinese Terran in the blue, tying things up 1-1 for Invictus Gaming. This is Coffee.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponents, the South Korean Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is Zoun.
Here we go. Now, Zoun has done this every series, sending that first probe straight across the map. It's something a little bit stylistic, something where maybe you just want to put the pressure on your opponent if you feel like you're a little bit faster, if you feel like you're going to be, fine losing those extra minerals as long as you see everything that's going on.
Yeah, and I'm sure he also wants, maybe he knows, he's like, yo, I know I can get an SCV kill, okay? And he's a little bit upset about what happened last game as well. 2 workers were left on the red, if you remember. So maybe he wants his chance to redeem himself. Maybe the game all came down to that worker micro, the worker battle at the start of the game.
True. Do you reckon this is the same probe? Reincarnated?
Yeah. Exactly. He's back.
Back for vengeance.
And so far he's being very annoying, you know, a very pesky pro, but as we can see, a lot less violent this time. He hasn't really committed to any kind of, you know, maybe he's scared, maybe his life flashed before his eyes and he's lost that killer instinct.
Yeah, he's having that Groundhog Day moment where he comes back over and over and like, all right, I don't want to die this time. I got to work out how to do this a little bit differently. It's the day of tomorrow, bro.
Oh my god, Bill Murray confirmed as he's going to be chilling here towards the middle of the map. We do have a Reaper first opener this time as Coffee does run past that Tastelope towards the main base just to scout and figure out what tech is going to be thrown down as Zoun is mixing things up.
Yeah, there we go. So Zoun are going to be going once again for that Twilight Council. But as you were saying, mixing things up with this double Adept opener. So this does usually look a little bit more like Stargate as well. Can definitely trick the Terran player here, as we do see Coffee just skirmishing back and forth. But the probe micro from Zoun, very good. Going to be keeping them safe.
Yeah, so far. Oh, we spoke too soon. One probe is going to be going down, and the Reaper gets in, gets the full scout, and does confirm the Twilight Council.
Yeah, that's a big scout. I have to wonder. Maybe I'm overthinking a little bit here, but I think Coffee is, you know, preying on the mind of Zoun a little bit here. I think we're seeing some nerves.
Oh my god, Zoun. I mean, that's the thing. Like, he is a bit of a younger player. You know, he's at a live event. He's at the World Finals, and he is so close to elimination. I mean, no loser here gets eliminated, to be fair, but you're one step closer. So the pressure is on, and yeah, he ends up slipping up a little bit.
Yeah, that was 2 workers going down as well. So I think there might have been a little bit of extra damage going there. Interestingly, having a look at the base over here of Coffee, this CC here is not producing workers. I think he's going for an all-in. No, it's been scouted. This is a disaster.
Yeah, Coffee, he lowered his depot and the Adept gets in. It gets eyes on the additional production, on the fact that there was another CC. The worker count is quite low as well, and now Zoun has to prepare.
Yeah, and that's a lot of build time that we lost on that Rax, and the element of surprise is completely gone. I think this is something that would have been really unexpected based on the way that he was opening and based on this being such a large map. I really could have seen this taking Zoun off guard, so that is such a shame that it gets scouted like that.
It really is. And now Coffee, he has resumed worker production. He's getting his gases as well. If he did initially plan to go for a 2-base all-in, it looks like he's looking to transition out of that, maybe recognizing that he has been scouted, that he has been delayed.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're seeing a bit more of a standard macro setup from him as well. We don't have that starport still, so there we go. It is going to be going down now, but that is quite heavily delayed. So looks like instead we are going to be getting that Stim combat shields on the way. We'll swap that starport on for some medevacs and just a very standard looking 3-1-1 push.
Exactly, and because we're getting into a bit of a more standard game now, Zoun can get into his own. We have that robotic spay on the way once again, so we can get into his robo units, into his colossi. He's working off a very few units overall right now, but he's able to just contain his opponent and keep Coffee here on his 2 bases.
Yeah, I mean, something that I think we might be seeing here, which is a bit of a stylistic move out of Zoun, is possibly a disruptor first. Looking at the map, looking at a bit of the layout throughout the center, there's a lot of ramps, there's a lot of blind spots where you could hide a disruptor and shoot that ball down that hill, and I think a player like Zoun, he loves going for stuff like that, might be looking to do that.
Oh no. I don't want to trigger any PTSD, Papi. I don't know if I want to see that. But we did see a nice scan. Again, confirmation that we do have a robotic spay and a robo at the natural. So Coffee's fully aware of that transition into splash damage. We see that it is not going to be disruptor first. We have the Colossi coming out. So Zoun going to be a little bit more standard, a little bit more of the norm here. And yeah, he also gets eyes on this a little bit of a move out from Coffee.
Ooh. Yeah, absolutely. Zoun playing things very safe, going for that 2-base Colossus build. He is going to be able to take out some of these Marines on the way. Zoun already showing us that he has some fantastic Stalker micro here, and he is going to be able to slow down this push.
Yeah, a couple of Marines are getting picked up here and there. Forces a siege as well, and this is all just slowing down this push until the third base gets up and running. We do see a scan, though, and the Observer does get taken out.
Yeah, great work there spotting that Observer. That could have been really rough for him if he did go for that drop without realizing that he'd been seen, but he's going to be taking that out, and he does drop back home, so very cerebral play coming out of our Terran here.
Yeah, Zoun is trying to catch eyes on where the army is, whether he doubled back and went back home, or if he's rerouting towards another portion of the map. Does take a couple of tank shots to the face. A Stalker goes down, so Zoun slipping up a little bit with his attention. But again, what's important is that he is getting his third up and running. He is getting his Colossus out.
Yeah, Colossus coming out. We are seeing some pretty early Vikings coming out from Coffee, so a little bit curious there. Maybe looking to defend from a potential drop coming into his base when he moves out, but yeah, I'm kind of interested in the setup that he's got going here.
Yeah, I'm interested in those Vikings as well because he only made 2. He's going back into medevac production from there, so because of this, it does seem like he at least wants to shut down a Prism if a Prism was invested into, unless it was a bit of a mistake. But no, yeah, he's actually going back into Viking production.
Yeah, so he will be very well prepared for the Colossus. There we go. We do see those Vikings in position for a potential Prism, maybe anticipating a Zealot warp in into his main when he moves out. That is a very strong move that you can go for. He does drop that scan, sees the Colossus, but already going into Disruptors is Zoun.
Yeah, it does get confirmation on the Disruptors as well. I feel like that's pretty important because now he recognizes that he doesn't have to invest too much into the Vikings. Zoun isn't going into your standard 3 Colossus setup, so hopefully Coffee doesn't overinvest in Vikings.
Yeah, I think Zoun here is taking advantage a little bit of the size of the map to just skip out a little bit on these units, go a bit more greedily into the tech, realizing that, you know, if any push is coming, he's going to be able to see it quite early. And Coffee's actually playing this very passively, but he hasn't landed a third yet.
Yeah, there is no third CC at all, and that's a little bit odd. I mean, his army is positioned as if he wants to expand and take a third base, but he just continues pumping out unit after unit. So he is going to go for a massive push. Looking at the units tab here, he has 6 tanks.
Yeah, this is a huge push that looks like it's designed specifically to try take out a Colossus player. A bit of a 2-base all-in, very heavily delayed here. I've seen Coffee going for some similar things against Phoenix Colossus, but these Disruptors are going to be very problematic for this attack.
Oh, it really is. The first Disruptor does force the siege, does slow this down, and Zoun is fully aware of the all-in. He's getting cannons up and running, is getting ready to defend. Observer does get taken out, so now it's going to be a little bit harder to keep up with the army, but here we go. He's pushing on forward.
Oh, lovely tank positioning here. This is really cool. I think Coffee has specifically planned this for the map based on the spots you can get tanks in. Wow, he's getting so much damage already.
Oh my god, the tank volleys are insane. The Disruptor dodges as well. These Vikings are able to zone away the entire army, but never goes up.
Oh, we just clipped the edge of the units there, but that's one Disruptor down. We do have Disruptor being continued to be produced, but this Colossus is in a bit of danger as well. This was a very nicely prepared all-in coming out from Coffee, and it is working a treat. I love this.
Yeah, he's going to be able to rotate over towards the third base. We only have 2 Disruptors available here for Zoun. How good are the Novas going to be? The first one. Oh, the Disruptor goes down!
Yeah, the Disruptor gets sniped. We see the first Liberator is going to be coming on in. This base will have to be given up. Zoun is trying to buy himself as much time as he can, but Coffee's in a fantastic position here. He continues to creep forward on the tanks. He's taken no damage on these tanks so far, and Zoun's going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, every single Colossi has been sniped. Now it's only Disruptors to defend. He only has 2 to his name, and the Liberators are sieging on up. There are barely any Stalkers to deal with this.
Yeah, there we go. We are seeing the commitment to the attack here, and this army of Zoun is being absolutely evaporated. This is the first damage we've seen on any of these tanks, but these 6 tanks, can they be broken?
Oh my god, another flanking Disruptor shot goes up, but it's not going to be enough. The production is now under siege. We do see Zoun coming in from behind. These tanks are left a little bit exposed, but there are just so many tanks.
GG and Coffee with a big upset. Brilliant planning for this map, and he takes the 2-1.
Oh my god.
Wow.
GG, well played. Coffee with the delayed 2-base all-in on Ancient Cistern is able to take down Zoun 2-1.
Wow. I was really racking my brain to work out what can Coffee do on this map to take advantage of this map. I mean, such a big map, but we do see that there's all these high grounds, there's all these kind of closed off little chokes where you can sneak in tanks into good positions, and that was brilliant planning. Honestly, that looked kind of broken.
The Terran pool is real. But that tank position, as you were saying, was really, really solid there, catching the army in between the natural and the third whenever the army tried to rotate over. So many tank shots off went out for free. It was insane. Oh my god. And on top of that, because he had gone into Viking production so early on, the Colossi were kind of a non-issue. They went down almost immediately, the first one at least, the second not too long after. So that was very nicely timed out, very nicely planned there by Coffee.
Yeah, that was a brilliant plan and executed so decisively there. And he takes out Zoun, who honestly would have been one of the favorites in this round of 36. Still can make it through that bottom of the bracket, but this was a huge upset, and what exciting games.
Yeah, wow. Oh my god, I am just shocked. I'm in shock. I'm in awe. Congratulations to Coffee for being able to punch up the way that he did for the upset victory here over Zoun. Zoun, one of the best Protoss players in all of Korea, gets knocked down to the lower bracket. One more slip up, one more lost series, and he will be eliminated from IEM Katowice.
Yeah, absolutely. And that means as well, the Coffee is going to be progressing. We're going to be seeing more of Coffee going up now against the winner of Spirit versus Haas. You can follow that series as well over on the mainstream there, but that is a developing storyline that I am very excited for.
Oh my god, I am, yeah, I can't wait for that series either, as I believe we don't have confirmed matches yet. I think we are actually the first series to finish, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe we're going to be waiting for the main stream, the B stream, and the C stream to finish up their current matches, and then we will see where we land. Because we're the D stream, we do have the lowest priority, so the main stream picks, then the B stream picks, then the C stream picks. So they kind of they get a little bit more leeway with what series they want to cast, and we're kind of left up to our own devices, or we're kind of left. Our hands are in the fate of all the other casters, you know, with what we get left with.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, give us Coffee. Give him to us again.
Give, Bobby, give. Oh my god. We'll see what we get. Yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But again, just, yeah, really well done. Congratulations to Coffee. My condolences to Zoun, but, you know, it's how the tournament goes. You know, there has to be a victor, there has to be a loser as well. If you want to tune into some of the other series, then yeah, definitely check out the other streams that are going on right now for some other amazing matches. Cure versus Armani, they're in the Ace match at the moment. There's Hearthstone versus Nice. There's also Spirit versus Haas.
Yeah, lots of exciting games going down there. Cure versus Armani going to the Ace match as well. Bit of a surprise there. Yeah. Maybe we're going to be seeing another upset.
Yeah, exactly. Like Armani has been kind of taking a little bit of a break. He hasn't really been too active recently, but to take a game off of Cure, I'm a little bit shocked. I'm a little bit excited. You know, my Zerg bias is coming out a little bit. I'm a big Armani fan. So definitely a series to look out for. But before that happens, we are going to be going on a short break. I'll also let everyone know as well, in that break, the stream is going to go down. We actually have a delay on the stream. It's a 2-minute delay. But I'm being notified by the admins that we actually don't need a delay. I was just being safe. I was just, you know, I wasn't too sure if we needed one or not, and we're being told to turn off the delay. So to do that, the stream does have to go down. So if the stream suddenly turns off, don't worry, it's intentional. You don't have to picnic in the chat. You don't have to at me and spam at me that something is wrong. It's all working as intended. So yeah, don't panic, everyone, and it'll be okay.
Stay with us.
Oh god. So thanks everyone for watching. When we return, hopefully we have another series for you.
There we go. See you soon.